Welcome, 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 welcome. So, here's another episode of, The Meaning of Life, the series of The Meaning of Life. And today's topic is courageousness. So today we're going to cover what is courageousness, courage, right? Courage. It's kind of a landmark, right? It's kind of the standard. Well, courageous. If you're courageous, it's a standard to have courage, right? So, in of itself, you have this overall measure of success. And, even if you were unsuccessful, that doesn't mean you weren't courageous to give it a hoot and a holler and to say, I'm going with them. Would you like to go with me? Kind of thing. That's kind of what courageousness is. It's the bridge between, it's already walking across the bridge through the next door. The bridge that lies upon the next door is kind of what courageousness is. You have the courage because you know that next step, that is for sure the next step. And you know what they say in science, seances of opinion, of semantics. Science says that what you focus on, you shall see and find. You shall seek and find. You may have to build a tool first, yet you shall find what you were looking for, always and forever, in and of itself. Because once you look and focus on it, and see, that's what it comes down to, your focus, right? Courageousness is a focused element to itself, for itself, and around itself. You honestly have the most powerful element in your arsenal, right? Okay, so what exactly is that? Willpower, right? That's kind of like another way of saying courageousness. The courage to change something. It takes willpower. It takes a true understanding of how to overstand things, right? So it's about being willing to you go through the steps, right? The steps of showing up, right? And then being a witness, the interim, showing up and getting there, and then being a witness, because you're always a witness first and foremost. And then depending on what route you take, there's three in a sense. Well, there's two. Let's just say there's three to say simply. And so then you have, the opposite of a witness is, the opposite action of a witness is to stand up. And, do something about what you're seeing instead of being a witness to it. And essentially stopping the death of what is the one that is being a witness and staying a witness. I guess in a sense, if you're like tied to wherever, and there's a point where you can fight it, or you can just accept it. But if you keep fighting, what does that mean, though? What if you just accept it? What does that mean? In a sense, it speaks volumes of just the overall concept of, well, what is courage? What is to be courageous, right? That's like the next, that's after or during, where does that hope and that desire and that calling, the whole like calling, career, or is it a job kind of thing? Job, career, calling, job, or calling, career, or is it a job? A job, which if it's Job, then it's a calling too. But anywho, that's not either here or there. That's just in my logic. What I can see things through. Yet we're not talking about that any longer. We're talking about this of what is courageous, the meaning of life, right? Well, isn't that kind of what courageous is too? The meaning of life. Isn't that ironic? We're having the theme of meaning of life, and it comes to the topic of courageous and seeking, and as we already know, the meaning of life. You shall find it, right? Now, that's something. See, that was this life knocking at the door. So anywho, what is life of being courageous, right? Who has been courageous in life, right? Nikola Tesla is the first one that would come to my mind. Yeah. Pretty much a solid go-to for me. What about you? What would you say is your solid go-to of who you think changed the world for the better and to do the right thing? Ooh, now answer that one. You weren't expecting all that, were ya? Huh? Just saying. We could say that courageous is like the blueprint of, holding the blueprint, because you found it. You found the blueprint to life, right? That kind of blueprint to your life, not just to life, yeah, your life. So that means that you're in control. You honestly are in control of everything once you find the blueprint. To say simply, So, in of itself, once you find that blueprint and you're holding it because you were courageous enough to go and look for it, and you finally found it, right? You found, it's another way of saying courageous. To be courageous is to be able to hold the key to who you are, to what you stand for, and to have, to take a stand and to have a stand, like I was saying earlier, where does that come from? Where does that instinct, that premise of the interim of that instinct to be of the draw of that instinct of it to occur? It's almost like the future, like instead of the future coming to the past, the past is coming towards going to the future. And in that's what creates the future, when the past goes to the future, right? That's the concept in and of itself, right? So the same concept would stand, that if the future went to the past, then the past would become the future. That makes a lot of sense. Just wow. What an intriguing thought. Yes, and yes. Okay, so let's get into it. What are we getting into? Some etymology. to look up what does courageous mean to life in words and the aspect of how is our ancestors, the history, the high story of the history. Yes, the HI of the story, or you could also say the HIGH story, we could say. Yeah, let's go in and see what we can bless ourselves with, of how we can grow today in this meaning of life, of, well, coming together and, together we are forming the meaning of life right now. Understanding it, it stands the truest of the truth that every day the universe becomes smarter. Every day, right? Like every second, really. Like, yet, to make it simple, keep it simple, stupid, right? It is what it is, and yet, the point of it being is that the universe becomes smarter every day, just like you. Become more capable and all every aspect of you being you, if you're willing, right? Yet, if the universe is getting smarter every single day, then that means in of itself, you yourself are getting stupider every day. Or just automatically being stupider every day. It's not that you're getting stupider every day, it's not that you're even stupid, it's not. It's in of itself the ability to, just to, it is what it is, and nothing's bad or good, That's something that in the search of the meaning of life, right, you kinda have to understand that it is what it is. It's not good or bad. Only a victim would say life is good or bad. Things are good or bad. That's what a victim would say, right? A witness would say. I don't remember. I'm not sure if a witness is what is it? What did I just say? Oh well. Anywho. So overall, a witness, courageousness. Courageous is, courage. And yet, well, hi everybody. Okay, so this is what it comes to in of itself, right? Okay, so courageous is an adjective, or as an adjective, the 13th century of persons, valiant, brave, full of courage, also desirous, from eager, spirited, brave, also capricious. Capricious is a very interesting word. I like that word. I've heard it before. Inconsistent. What? Oh, inconstant. Oh, wow. Got an in, an in in that word. So, unconstant. So both the nation of following one's inner impulses, heart, innermost feelings, temper, see courage, of actions, speak, etc., manifesting courage by 1795. Okay, well, this is what, courage, as a noun. Let's see, hang on. Let's see, courageous. Okay, no, yep, okay, that's the next one. Okay, so the next one is courage. Courage, 13th century heart, a set of emotions, hence spirit, temperament. Temperament, really. State or firm of mind. Heart, innermost feelings, temper. Courage, to have temper. Wow. Innocent, innermost feelings. Meaning vulgar quality of mind which enables one to meet danger and trouble without fear. Wow. In the form late 14th century, in the sense of Old English, which also meant zeal, strength. Words for heart also commonly are metaphors for inner strength. And the word was used broadly for what is in one's mind or thoughts, hence bravery, but also wrath, pride, confidence, lustness, wow, or any sort of inclination. And it was used in various phrases such as bold courage, brave heart, careful courage, sad heart, free heart, courage, free will. Wow, free, F-R-E, courage is free will. So the two E's came along later. Wicked courage, evil heart. W-I-K-K-E-D, courage, wicked heart. So that's all interesting. That's very, very interesting, I would have to say. Yes, 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 and yes, yes, yes. You also have that of what is, where is it? Let's see. C-O-R, core, is heart. So what does E mean when it's, so like what does E mean then? E, the last Roman numeral, the space is difficult or unpleasant to pronounce, and then began to emerge I, such as words and numbers as the development of carries their own line, especially in the French or modern feature 15th century by natural loss of S, the make the kind of E, while in other cases in the word was formerly created by the Latin spelling, for example, spirit, hence word et, Old French, este, eat. Latin status, etc. Is reduced from X or CX. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the other way around. I wanted not the front way, I wanted the back way. Okay, anywho. Okay. Well, follow the loose end, I guess. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of what courageous means, everybody. So, I can see how the meaning of life with courage can lead us to temptation and to lose our temperament and our prosperity. You know, it leads you to doing something you probably would never do in the first place. If you were meant to do something in the first place. Right? So in of itself, you have a constant round of what is life and what is all that comes with it. What forth where you come from, if you could come forth in all ways, in all the ways of always, and never about not. See, even never exists. Because if never didn't exist, we would never say it. We would just be elusive to it, in the sense of saying. Yet, with courage, you have a sense of, I guess you gain a sense of entitlement upon it, like a doctor, right? When you go to the square school, you put a lot of time and effort and energy into that, right? To get that little fancy little piece of paper. Just like we can be led through to temptation, through courageousness. It's also that courageous effort that lets us see through the illusion and see the sleight of hand that's happening from the magician, right? That's courageous right there. It's courageous is to question, right? To give forth something that wasn't there before, in a sense, or at least not seen in the commonality of things, to say simply. Yet, what about how you approach coming together with yourself and for yourself? That's being courageous. Loving yourself, one of the highest forms of courageous, being courageously encompassing yourself with love, and that of all of who you are and what you are. So in of itself, when you go forth and love yourself and carry forth your understanding of what is your ability to go forth and to love yourself to the degree of being able to forgive yourself, forgiveness it takes courageousness, right? You have to be courageously brave, and be willing to come at it from a pure heart. So, in of itself, life is so willing to give you what you want. You just have to be able to, hear it when it's there and seize the opportunity, right? So in of itself, let's look up a quote about courageousness from George Washington. Let's see what they say. Okay? Oh, okay. Ha 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 ha. So, let's see, I gotta go back to it. Where did I put you at? There it is. Okay, so George Washington says leadership is not only having a vision, but also having the courage and the resources to get you there with the discipline. Okay, let me read it again. Okay, so leadership is not only having a vision, but also having the courage, the discipline, and the resources to get you there. George Washington. That was a good one. I like that one. Let's see. The fate of unborn millions will now depend under God of the courage and conduct of this army. We have therefore to resolve to conquer or die. Woo! That's another good one. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Overall, pretty much my go-to answer for what is the meaning of life is that it's different for everyone. And yet, a lot of meaning of life comes down to a purpose, a message, being able to be a witness in of itself. And then, have the courage to take a stand and to, be who you are meant to be and fulfill that purpose. Sometimes it's as simple as you just accepting what it means to be in harmony all the time. In fact, that is a universal law. Never create disharmony. Always be harmonious in all actions, all endeavors, in all moments in of itself. But yes, I also see that courageous is, honorable, yet with the best intentions, to say simply, a way of saying, yeah, that's not always a good thing, like just doing your job. I'm just doing my job. Yet, anywho, everyone have a beautiful one. And always remember, your shoes fit just right. Never let anyone tell you that your shoes don't fit just right. Because if they do, and you are who you are, well, it is what it is, my love, my friends, and all the way around. Thank you very much for listening to another episode of talking about the theme, the meaning of life, and the topic today of courageous, being courageous, and having courageously, housing courageousness in your actions and throughout your world, because you are who controls your world. You might not control the outside of it, yet you can control the inside of it. A movie that I can recommend is Sucker Punch. It is such a beautiful, eloquent elixir to the understanding of the overstanding of what is the kind of lifestyle that we live as immortal beings, as souls that we are. Yeah, that's just my perspective. I'm just saying. That's what I focus on. So it must be true. For me, yes. For you, you're just my probability, and I'm all my possibilities. Just like you're all your possibilities, and I'm all your probabilities. In and of itself, there's balance to this duality thing, this game of life. In and of itself, the game of duality. It's called the game of duality for a reason, and it's commonly known as the game of life. And life is but a game. Okay, well, anywho, it's time for me to sign off now and to go forth and to do something of saying I checked off this goal. Because as I go forth doing this meaning of life series, I have come to learn a lot about what does it mean in finding the meaning of life. And of itself, that's kind of very powerful. You know, anywho, I shall let you go forth, and I release you upon you taking a breath in and out. And please let me know what you think with a thumbs up. And all those troll babies out there, well, you have a blessed one too, because your shoes fit just right as well. Huh? Okay, aloha.